it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk as always. Thanks for tuning in and supporting my channel. Let's get to it. We have Mad Dog, the first of his name, CSA 1 clan in his Tiger 1 Tier 7 in an all Tier 7 battle, which is a good setup for him. You know, a lot of players rush right forward and get the Tiger 1 because it's the historical Tiger 1, the amazing German tank. And of course, they're not very good at that point, and they do poorly, and they say, it's a terrible tank. It's awful. Well, in fact, it's an amazing Tier 7 tank, probably one of the best as far as I'm concerned. What does it have going for it? An amazing gun, good mobility, and decent armor. Not the best armor, but usable at times. So you can see that we've loaded into Karelia right here on the southwest spawn, and he is headed down to the south into the kind of the heavy brawling area. He actually has a pretty good portion of his team up in the northwest. Looks like several of his heavy hitters up there, the IS and the KV-3. He is facing 3 T-29s and some other heavies, so this could be a bit of a brawl over here. Let's see what Mad Dog, the first of his name, does in here. He's going to end up using the strengths of the Tiger to his advantage, and most of that is the DPM and the gun. He's decided to cross right here and head over into this flat area, which is a good idea for this fight. Why? Because there's no arty. Also, it looks like the enemy hasn't taken the middle. Let's talk about this for just a minute. When I say the middle, I mean this middle hill right here. The 34-100 has proven they haven't come. These guys have not come around the corner. They're all stacked up back here. There's nobody trying to take this hill. The problem with going where Mad Dog is with arty is obviously you're out in the flat and arty can hit you. Arty's not a factor. The second problem is, does the enemy take this high ground right here and pop you in the side all day? That hasn't happened. So Mad Dog has decided to move up into a more aggressive forward position, where he can now start taking these guys on. Now the T-29 has done a nice thing right there for his team, because a T-29 hold down on that spot is very dangerous. Mad Dog's going to have a hard time punching through his turret. Unfortunately, guess what the T-29's dealing with? The 34-100. He has the opposite problem that Mad Dog would have had. Mad Dog's team took that high ground, and now he's punishing, or Mad Dog's team is punishing people who work into their flat area, and he really has not much of a choice. The IS is an issue. He's coming up there, but Mad Dog puts a shot into him. And they need to get rid of that IS. Once they get rid of the IS, then they can take the next critical train, which is a little bit forward. But they've got to get rid of him first. Mad Dog has an interesting way of shooting, and it's something I can't really replicate. You'll notice that he doesn't really zoom in that much, but it does not seem to hurt him. Takes those 3 shots, and they're down. There goes the T-29. That T-34-100 ate him alive, and now they're in good shape. You can see that the whole glob of Mad Dog's team is now moving forward. This T-29, unknown why he's there. Bit of a rush shot right there, but he just probably wanted to get that shot and then move into cover. Turns out that T-29 is rather clueless, just sitting there taking it, so he's able to stop here kind of out in the open. He moved forward a little bit and got a bit hold down, but the T-29 is not even looking at him. And that's something you need to pay attention to as a player when you have kind of free shots on guys and you don't really need to move into much more cover. And now they're just tearing up these guys who are hanging out around behind this corner. This is just a great example of why passive play is so bad. He's just coming in here, exposing his turret. The Tiger turret is not amazing, but it's not bad. So he's obviously doing the right thing. As much hold down as he can right here, but now it's just a feeding frenzy coming in here and working on these guys. You'll note here pretty soon that the M10 really wants to shoot Mad Dog. And one of the reasons is Mad Dog's exposed to him. The other guys are popping around the corner, and he's actually up in that little crook. So his only real shots are at Mad Dog right there. Mad Dog minimizes the amount of damage the guy can do to him, takes some more shots into him, and adds a bunch to his damage. Already sitting at 2,700. All right. This is something I like to do at this point because I think it is really instructive, especially to new players. I want you to look at what's going on in this game and make a decision. You are Mad Dog in your Tiger. Where do you go? You've just won this flank. Look how close the enemy cap is. I mean, you can almost touch it. It's right there. Take a look at the enemy disposition and what's going on and make your decision. Let's see what Mad Dog does. Oh, look, there's some shots. So he'll take care of him first, or at least help. Okay. Yep, that guy's done. Oh, wait a minute. And we're turning. Pretty much immediately. Look who else turns. Nobody. Eventually, the JP will come back. That is the differentiation between most players and very good players right there. That single decision to go back towards Cap when his Cap is endangered, even when they've won their flank, is a huge differentiation between average to bad players and good to great players. The JP turns around, and here he comes. Now, the only decision Mad Dog makes in this game that I disagree with is coming up right here. The IS dies up in the northwest, and he's going to go up on this hill. For my money, you go straight down here, and you go right back up to your Cap, and you make sure none of these smaller, faster tanks are trying to pile 3 on the Cap and take you down. Going up here is a delay I don't think you can take. If the LTG, Leo, and E25 had gone straight to Cap and jumped on, they'd have had big trouble. Big trouble. But as it is, he did turn around, and he is getting himself into certainly a better position to support than these guys, who are pushing up onto Cap against TDs and potentially other guys coming back on the red team if they've decided they need to go back and defend, which they should make that decision. And there we go. So let's beat the dead horse just a little bit. Let's say Mad Dog comes back here, the JP comes back here, and they meet only 1 or 2 guys, and the rest of the enemy team had gone this way. Well, at least you have managed to clean up this. You've killed a couple guys, and then you come back and you deal with the rest of them. If the rest of Mad Dog's team had said the same thing as Mad Dog did and came back, maybe a few position up here, maybe some down here, secure the Cap, and then all push together, Mad Dog and the JP would have killed a few off. They'd have been even more tanks up, and then they could come in. As it is, this whole game is now wide open. Mad Dog's team won this flank. They won this flank. It now just depends on who makes the best decision as far as going back to Cap and defending, and executes it the best. If Mad Dog's team had all turned around, they'd have been in a much better position. So they're going to take 4 tanks up there, and they're going to start futzing around with looks like 2 TDs and eventually another heavy. Uh-oh. And that's what I was talking about right there. Now, Mad Dog's not completely out of position. I'm not scoffing necessarily his decision to go up there. Maybe he felt he had time to get up there anyway, but my concern would be that 3 of them get on at one time. And there's the Leo kind of trying to get up there. So my suspicion is it's either the E25 or the LTG that is on Cap. The Leo is attempting to get up there, but Mad Dog's also got a faster 3002, and the JP just continued trucking towards the Cap, so he's actually well in position. Unfortunately, he's more or less alone and unafraid. The 3002 is a little bit worried about the Leo, and he probably thinks the JP is going to handle the E25. And unfortunately, what we're going to find out here is the JP is not going to handle the E25, and he's going to get DPM'd, machine gunned down. Bam, 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 and we're out of JP just like that. Good news, there goes the Leo. Now we've got the LTG coming up. Now, Mad Dog should be able to handle these guys, and this is one of the more satisfying things in this game right here, seeing somebody in one of these ridiculous E25s get waxed as they rage around like a cockroach. That was outstanding. Thank you, Mad Dog. That made my day. And now we're turning around and going back. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. And exactly as I said, Mad Dog, the 3002, and the JP secure their Cap, and you can see that, per my discussion, that the enemy actually sent the Tiger P and the KV3 back to their Cap, who are now busily destroying the pushers that were damaged and headed up to the Cap. Looks like Mad Dog's going to farm a brother in arms. Come on, man. And he'll take a shot on the run. I don't know, I maybe would have stopped and aimed at that shot, but the other option is to obviously keep going and get closer to your work. So it's just a small thing. And we're going to take out this Tiger P. You can see once again he uses that kind of longer range aiming technique. I have a hard time replicating that, but it works absolutely well. Absolutely well. It works well for Mad Dog. He gets that shot on the run. Holy cow. That's that Tiger accuracy / RNG. And naturally, right after that shot, a fully aimed shot misses over top. That's amazing. All right, let's just jump up here. We'll go a little bit faster and funnier. The Tiger P is trying to survive. Please, Mr. KB3, don't kill me. It's the Dude Man 7. That means there's 6 more of them. At least. Not necessarily, but there you go. Mad Dog's going to find the TD right here. He needs to aim at that weak spot, that tumor on the top, hatch kind of guy. Another shot. No, didn't quite get that. A little high into the wall over there, and now we're going to take a nice aim shot on the hatch and finally get that guy dead. Come around here. We'll speed this up. KB3. We're going to auto aim this KB3. This is a great move, and it's something you need to put in your bag of tricks. He knows he's going to win. He just auto aims, fires on the run, and even before he's able to reload, he can just come down here, ram this guy, and get rid of him. And now he's got a win. So nice job, Mad Dog. Hey guys, Tiger 1 is a great tank. That was a good setup for him. Obviously, all tier 7s, but even against tier 8s, it does very well. And the decision making was solid as far as the initial move up, the sequential move through cover to continue to gobble up hit points, and then the critical decision of we can't push the cap because they have defenders up there. We have got to go back and secure our cap, and then we can turn around and eat these guys alive. He gets 3,984 hit points, 375 block, 528 assisted. Outstanding game there, Mad Dog. I hope everybody learned something. Make sure you subscribe if you like what you saw, and as always, we will see you.